Hi, so this is an update to how the skill system is going to work in Sanctum Breach. Um, I've spent the majority of the day and pretty much the whole design process thinking about how I want skills to function, how I want the upgrades to function, talents, etc. Um, Originally, I had the idea of 6 classes. They got most of their skills from talent trees, which are all obviously different. And then once they'd acquired that skill, they can further upgrade that skill within the talent tree. Um, I like the idea of having a few different skills on weapons and kind of like universal skills that every class can use. Um, but recently, I've started to move away from that idea because I wanted there to be more skills in the game and every class to have the option to play with more different skills rather than just keeping to their small pool of talent skills. Um, so my initial idea was to just increase the amount of universal skills that could be found throughout the game. But today I've started to expand that and go beyond that, and now I'm deciding to remove skills from talent trees entirely, have every skill be a global drop that every class can use. Same for upgrades as well. But then I run into the problem of classes not having an identity. Obviously, the talent trees will be different for every class, so they'll have some form of identity there. But I wanted to that to translate to skills as well. So the idea that I have and that I'm moving forwards with is that skills that are inherent to a certain class, so let's just take Enchanter for example, uses fire, ice and lightning skills predominantly. That's like the trademark of the class. So the skill that I've been working with a lot, people have seen in the demo and stuff, is Breath of Fire. That will be an Enchanter skill. And I want every class to have the option to use this skill, but it mostly ties into Enchanter. So for quests and quest rewards, rewards more specifically, the class inherent skills and upgrades will be offered as rewards, but every class has the option to find this as a drop just from random enemies. And taking it further, I like the idea of having like class-based challenges and dungeons. So these will open up at about level 10 when you reach the first sort of village. Then you'll go into a separate area and you'll have a thematic dungeon for each class. This will take you all the way from level 10 right up to endgame. I think the highest enemy level I'm looking at having in the game at the moment is 85. So there'll be enemies all the way from level 10 to 85. And it'll just be sort of an endless dungeon style approach that's thematic for the class. And in these dungeons, you'll have regular enemies that will drop regular items, but then at intervals, you'll have bosses. Now, these bosses will drop skills and skill upgrades related to the class. So it'll be a really good area to farm if you're looking for a specific skill that ties into your class, but you haven't come across it in quest rewards or as a random drop yet. And obviously, with this idea, I'll have it so that the end bosses, so they're like the level 70, 75, 80, 85 bosses, drop the highest level of upgrades that you can't find anywhere else outside of that level range. So I don't have an inventory in place yet, so I can't really demo it that effectively because obviously there'll be skill tomes and upgrades etc that you learn from a book that you collect as a world drop or as a quest reward. But I have it set up on overlap at the moment, so you'll kind of get the idea of how it'll work. So play a quick demo. So this will be the Enchanter dungeon. There's no music in at the moment. Also, each dungeon will have specific enemies related to their class. So like these golems will be enchanted with different types of magic, for example. And then in the fighter one, it could be different types of like gladiators with different weapons, that kind of thing. It goes through like a crucible, like trial by combat. Yeah, so just load it up. I'll press A on my keyboard just as like a bit of a dev hack to learn a new skill. But this will be learnt through a book and then it'll come into here, your skill log, and from here you'll be able to read about it and then drag it into the hotbar to use it. We'll use it quickly. Actually, I've got a better way of demoing that. Sorry, I'm just doing this video on the fly. So, learn the skill. It done 38 damage because it crit. Its base value is 25. Pretend this is an item that you pick up. It's a skill upgrade. So now, this is an upgraded version, so it should do an extra 10 base damage. So it'll be 35 or higher if we crit. That's 35, so it was a regular hit. But as you can see, it starts off as 25 damage, and then once you've gained the first skill upgrade, it goes up to 35 damage. Obviously, it's a very simplified version of the system. It'll be a lot more in-depth with the upgrades. It won't just be a static amount of damage added on. It could be lots of different things, like increased in AoE, different ranges, and then when we get later on into the upgrades, it could completely change the way a skill operates. So for example, we could turn that into a channeled skill rather than just a one-time use. Yeah, hopefully get a bit of insight into how the skill system's going to function. Obviously I can't demo it properly yet, but I will make proper demo videos when inventory and equipments are in place. But I just wanted to get my thoughts on the system out there and just have a little proof of concept. Just really show you how I work as well. I have an idea and then I'll make a quick demo version of it, the quickest I can make anyway, just to test that the logic is functioning, and then I can tie it into other systems later on. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one.